You know, although I do not necessarily like to promote war, it is sometimes indeed a necessary evil. But we can all agree we need to thank all of those brave men and women of our awesome United States of America Armed Forces that put their life on the line. It is because of all of our troops that we can truly enjoy the rich freedoms we have at our fingertips. Keeping with the tradition of thanking those who served during wartime, we come to our next segment. The Downers Grove American Legion post in Downers Grove was putting on a simply fantabulous event. On Saturday, February 24, 2008, at the Downers Grove Alexander Bradley Burns American Legion Post 80 in Downers Grove, Illinois, American Legion Post 80 put on for the first time their celebration dinner for World War II members. This wonderful event included an evening of food, fun, dancing, awards, and just an awesome time, period. The Downers Grove American Legion Post was putting on an event honoring their members and members of the community who proudly served in World War II. Whether Pacific or Atlantic, World War II veterans were honored. The event first included an open bar, followed by a short presentation that included presenting awards to American Legion Post 80 World War II veterans. Then there was a yummy banquet-style dinner, Italian beef, roast turkey, the works. It was just a great day to say thank you to these World War II vets. Well, we're back, and now I am with Woody, who is with American Legion Post 80 from Downers Grove, and I understand that there's a fantastic event going on tonight, and you were the one that initiated it. And first of all, why don't you tell us what is all happening this evening?
Sure. We're honoring our World War II vets. Downers Grove North on Veterans Day has a ceremony, and they did some videotaping and interviews of World War II vets. And one of the questions were, did you feel like you were a hero? And each of the World War II people said no. I just did my job. And I watched that and I thought, these guys are my heroes. So why don't we have a dinner and then just celebrate what they accomplished while they're still with us? And that's what we're doing tonight. We're giving out some awards for long-standing American Legion members, but the dinner is really to honor those who fought in World War II.
And I guess the question is now, is this a new event for you or something you've been doing year to year?
This is totally new. It was a spur of the moment, and I got a group together, and we put it together. So...
Right, and so I understand, like you were mentioning, there's awards. Now, these are, can you tell us more about the particular award?
Sure. Herb Morrison has been a service officer for 39 years, almost 40 years. And service officers take care of the people whose husbands have died, people who are back from the service and have problems with the VA. And he's done an outstanding job for so long that as a post, we wanted to honor him. We're also offering an award to Emery Wolf, who's been in charge of the building for so many years. There's not a speck of dust in this building that Emery doesn't know. And last but not least, we're offering Bill Westrup a medal. He's been our bugler since he came out of the service in 1945. And so we just want to recognize these people for the outstanding stuff they did, not only for our post, but for our community.
Right, and as you're mentioning, you have a lot of, or some World War II veterans that are part of your post?
Yeah, out of 450, about 125 are World War II veterans, and they're still active in the post. Some of them have advanced age, and they're still very active in running the post and doing community activities.
Right, and as we mentioned, you're from Downers Grove American Legion Post 80, and now you said this is the first year that you've done this event, but you do all sorts of events similar to this?
2 years ago, we had a man named Ernie Mueller, who subsequently passed away from cancer. And we had an Ernie Appreciation Night while he was still around, and it made the post feel good that it could do something for its own.
I had the pleasure of speaking with 5 World War II veterans. They included Bill Westrup, Vic Kurbowski, Roy Bartholomew, John Colster and Elmer Mears.
Yeah, well, I had 4.5 years in the Coast Guard, and I'm the only Coast Guardsman in the Legion posts where I'm in, which is too bad. I wish we get some more Coast Guardsmen. In my service, which is 4.5 years, I did many things. I wrote all the music for the Coast Guard band out of Ellis Island. I spent a year chasing submarines, and I ended up my service servicing lighthouses.
Well, I went in 1942, and I served on a ship from 42 to 46. I was in 6 invasions. I had 5 battle stars. I was blown off the bridge when a suicide plane hit, and down to the deck below, and then we got hit with a 500-pound bomb that went through the ship and exploded in the water underneath us and then sank us. And then I started at Guadalcanal and then worked all the way through New Guinea and up, and finally wound up, at Okinawa. And then when the war ended, we were at Okinawa. We took the first occupation troops in, and I never had any. That was the first time I ever had a leave or anything in all those years.
Took my basic training, unbelievable, 1944 in the Horse Corps. In other words, a horse soldier. There ain't too many of them left. Okay, it was a waste of time. The only thing special, ended up in the Philippines and was there for a while, and then they dropped the atomic bomb in Japan. Was with the first troops to enter northern Japan, helped put up the first American flag over northern Japan. Let me see. Spent there. Oh, by the way, northern Japan has about 11 feet of snow on the level, which is quite a bit. Overall, I was only 18. Oh, well, 19 by then. It was a great experience, and well, you're called to do it, and you did it. Thank you.
Okay, number one, I was in Okinawa, and we were under kamikaze attack, and there were 4 planes flying over. 2 had the IFF on, and 2 did not. The first 2 were Japanese suicide bombers. Our ship shot one of them down, and the other one hit midships on the New Mexico. 55 guys were burned to death. I got another story to tell you. I happened to be on the ship right next to the Missouri when the signing of the Japanese came aboard, and the General MacArthur and all the admirals and everybody was there, and I listened to the story from there, and I happened to have a headset on, and I also had anyway, I listened to the surrender from the Missouri to our ship to Pearl Harbor, San Francisco, and Washington, D.C., and Harry Truman was at the other end.
I can say that it all started in February 1944 as a senior in high school here at Downers Grove North, and a bunch of us guys took the test to become to qualify for the cadet program in the Air Force, to become pilots, navigators, bombardiers. Well, we all got we were accepted, and so off we went in June of 1944 and into the Air Force, and we got down to Shepherd Field, Texas for our basic, and midway between there in the assembly hall, all of a sudden they got everybody together and they said, hey, we have an excess number of men for pilots, navigators, bombardiers, so we don't no more. So everybody from their last name from A to L is going to be an aerial gunner, from M to Z is going to be a radar mechanic, and that's why I wound up, because my name is M, Mears. So then we went overseas in August of 1945 to Guam, took 2 weeks on boat, and we stayed there for a while, and then from Guam we went to Tinian, and there from Tinian to Saipan. The only excitement, you might say, that we had was on Saipan and Tinian, the Japanese had burrowed into the cliffs, in the cliffs, and we had to inspect all the cliffs to make sure that nobody was left. So then that was 1945, got back in April of 1946. That was extended my duty in the Air Force.
For more information on Downers Grove American Legion Post 80, please take note of your screen. God bless America. God bless these World War II veterans.